When Amber Heard filed for divorce in May of 2016, the world of Hollywood didn't know how to take the news. Heard alleged that Depp had been physically and emotionally abusive towards her, and once leaked images of Daniel Heard with a bruised face were revealed, as well as audio of Johnny Depp allegedly shattering glass in his room. Public opinion turned on the once beloved figure. Was the man who played some of our favorite characters really capable of such cruelty? In this video, we've compiled 6 previously unknown facts about the case that show the whole story that just can't be captured in the headlines. Number 6. The law. This fact wasn't covered as widely as the divorce, but once Heard served her husband in 2016, the judge granted her a restraining order against him. The former husband claimed that the whole thing was a media circus to put her in a better financial spot. In these he said, she said scenarios, it can be hard to pick a side, but a court-ordered restraining order seems to make it a cut-and-dry case. However, while Heard had enough standing for a restraining order, the law never actually ruled in anyone's favor. The two settled out of court, agreed to not discuss their relationship publicly, and Heard dropped off the restraining order. In the eyes of the law, the case hasn't been decided. Number 6. Activist. Heard used her newfound platform to do something quite noble, fight for change. 2 years after the whole ordeal, Heard wrote a scathing manifesto for the Washington Post on how she had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protected men accused of abuse. Her fiery diatribe was carefully written to never mention Johnny Depp, but we could read between the lines. She ended the essay by outlining how important it is to fight for change at the systemic level, including expanded Title IX protections and bolstering domestic violence laws. Number 5. Depp fires back. After the article was published, Depp tried to steer the headlines in his favor by filing a $50 million lawsuit against Heard for defamation. This was bad news for the Aquaman star, and she quickly tried to get the case dismissed. She couldn't get it dismissed, but she was able to get it postponed to August 2020. Whatever the realities of their relationship are, the justice system won't settle until a few months from now. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest news. It'll be a ruling you don't want to miss. Number 4. The Other Side. Happening a few short years before the Me Too movement, the Depp v. Heard case was a sign of things to come. Swept up in a frenzy, most people chose to ignore Depp's side of the story. According to his lawyers, Johnny Depp argued that his soon-to-be ex had faked her own abuse. The pictures we saw of her bruises? Makeup. The entire story she told? Makeup. On the surface, these allegations seemed a bit hard to believe. I mean, who would fake a serious crime like this? But after some new revelations in 2020, the case has actually gotten muddier. Number 3. Former partners. When looking for answers in these kind of cases, it's always a good idea to look at what former partners of the accused have to say. After all, they'd know them better than anybody. In 2009, Amber Heard was arrested for allegedly striking her partner, Tassia Van Ree. While this would seem to make the whole thing an open and shut case by establishing Heard's history of abuse and lies, Van Ree and Heard would remain friends long after their breakup. Heard's ex came to her defense during all of this, saying her 2009 arrest was a case of overreaction and not actually abuse. Similarly, multiple exes of Depp came forward defending him. Winona Ryder and Penelope Cruz both stood by his side, issuing public statements of support. Number 2. Caught red-handed. Right when we thought we would never know the truth of the case, a leaked audio file changed everything. In the stunning tape, Amber Heard is heard making a confession about her physical abuse against Depp, admitting to hitting her ex-husband by throwing pots, pans, and vases. She is heard saying, "I can't promise I won't get physical again. I get so mad I lose it." Depp is heard replying, "Baby, I told you this once, I'm scared to death, we are a crime scene right now." And just like that, we have the smoking gun. While we understand that relationships are complicated and sometimes toxic relationships like that of Depp and Heard can end up being mutually abusive, we can't help but look back at the news storm of 2016 and wonder if the media made the wrong call. Number 1. Justice for Johnny. It's difficult to believe that the man who was once universally vilified for his alleged behavior has now become the subject of an online criminal justice campaign. The hashtag Justice for Johnny was trending earlier this year after all this news came to light. While we won't know where the court of law stands on this issue until later this year, the court of public opinion has seemingly made up its mind. This is all the time we have for today, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments below whether you liked this video and want to see more. There's a lot more Hollywood cases to crack, so type down below if that's something you'd like to see.